Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be reviewing the Shinano Eye of Horus ship, or as I have renamed her, Asano, which to me is a lot easier to say. Um, right off the bat, she is a very beautiful ship. Um, Even if I'm not a carrier person, I can still admire a very nice looking ship. And I really like the purple with the black. Even on the planes it looks good. Besides that, though, the ship is not anything different from what we already have in the game as the normal Shinano. Um, Besides the point that she can be used to grind free XP, and she has a 35% gain point event point gain bonus, which is only matched by Malta right now, Malta Ice Knight. So that's actually pretty good. All right, so let's see what we have. She has the whole of a Yamato class battleship, so she has a lot of health. That being 73,900 health with 27,000, yeah, 27,000, 27% torpedo resistance, and up to about 8 inches of armor. It looks like that would be on the belt. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so the armor would be on the belt. It's actually very difficult to shoot and sink the ship. She's the size of like a giant super carrier, as she is. However, to actually get citadels on her, it kind of is difficult. Sometimes you'll just get over pens, sometimes you'll just get normal pens. Occasionally, if you hit it just right, you can get citadels. However, it is not very easy to one shot her. For ships like Essex and Taiho and Midway, those are all easy to one shot if you get a good broadside and good dispersion. Shinano, however, is a little bit difficult. Most of the time, I just find it's easier to burn her. However, that won't stop me from shooting armor piercing at her when the time is right. They have been working on the armor scheme for the ship in past updates. Nothing recently, if I remember correctly. Um, so there still may be changes made to her, but as of right now, her armor scheme can be finicky. Sometimes you'll get a citadel, sometimes you'll just get an overpen. It just really determines what the game wants. Alright, so back to the ship herself. Slow speed of 27 knots. So she has the same slow speed as Yamato class battleships. And that will cause problems when you are the size that you are and being shot at. So yeah, she is. I struggle to find what to do with her. I don't know if I should be offensive or defensive with her. She can have a lot of strike potential. However, Japanese planes are knocked down so easily that half your squadrons are shot down by the time you get to the target, and the other half are shot down on the way back. So I don't really know how to play her. I can get good damage games, but that doesn't mean I'm being an effective carrier player. Alright, so these are the fighters. These are the upgraded fighters. If you just have the normal tech tree Shinano, you can have different options. But with the premium one here, or prison one, this is all you got. I actually do like the fighters on this ship. Japanese carriers don't necessarily good fighters, but these ones are not actually terrible. And then you have the torpedo bombers, and then dive bombers. So the first setup you can have is two fighter squadrons, three torpedo bomber squadrons, and two dive bomber squadrons for a total of seven. Um, this is fairly good, fairly standard loadout. You have relatively decent defensive fighter squadrons and good offensive torpedo and dive bomber squadrons. You could also go with triple torpedo and triple dive bomber squadrons with only one fighter squadron. So this is pure offensive. And man, I gotta tell you, 15 torpedoes and 15 bombs coming at you. Um, that is a lot. I think that might be the most powerful strike force a top tier carrier can provide. I'm not quite sure. Don't hold me to that. I'm not a carrier main. And then last one, which is actually the one I prefer. Actually, I gotta do this. The one I prefer, I have 3 fighter squadrons, 3 torpedo bomber squadrons, and 2 dive bomber squadrons. They might not have the same numbers, but that's still good offensive firepower. And the defensive fighter squadrons, if you have them all together as one big blob, they can knock down pretty much any other attacking squadron within a few seconds. And you have 8 squadrons altogether, so it's a little bit more to control, but honestly, it's what works for me. And if you're being attacked by the enemy carrier, you're going to want all 3 of your fighter squadrons to defend you rather than 1 or just 2. So this one works best for me. Besides that, I guess we could do AA. Because I do have her focus for AA, Disaster Retardant. She has her normal repair. She has an anti-aircraft barrage. Then she has an elite frontline station, Shinano. Now, I know we haven't done carriers yet, but Taiho and Shinano have this weird elite frontline station consumable that they can equip where it's kind of like takes aircraft that are not currently at your disposal and makes them ready. So let's say I have 10 fighters left in my storage and I lose all of my fighters and so I have 0 left. If I press this consumable, it'll give me like 5 or 6 back, or more I should say. So you don't start off with all your aircraft, you have a consumable to get more. I'm not quite sure how effective it really is, but with the planes being shot down as quickly as they are, it is very nice. However, you have to keep in mind that there is still a cooldown since it is a consumable, so you can't just spam multiple bunch of aircraft. See, you have 4 uses of it. I'll try and show you what I mean better in game. It's hard to describe it off the top of my head right now. Alright, and then we have anti-aircraft defense, which Shinano has really, really good AA defense, actually. Good long range, good mid range, and good short range. The AA defense on the ship is no joke. However, the downside is that she's so large and so slow that anything that does get by her AA defense will probably be able to hit her with relatively ease. Her torpedo resistance is actually pretty substantial for a carrier. I've had multiple torpedo strikes on me where it doesn't cause a flooding, which is very nice because my repair was on cooldown. Additionally, since your concealment is so bad mine currently right now is 15.7 kilometers, the base is 17.4 kilometers. So you can literally be seen from across the map, and you are big enough that you are quite an easy target no matter what ship is shooting at you. So this is where I struggle. Do you play defensively because you can be so easily shot at and damaged by surface ships, or do you play defensively because the carrier doesn't really pose a threat to you if you have your AA and fighters on, and you can use your offensive squadrons to take out the enemy ships before they shoot you? So I haven't really found a happy medium yet, but we're still going to try and see what we can do today. So let's toss into a game and see what we can do. Alright, here we have ourselves a game. 1 carrier, looks like 5 battleships, 1 cruiser, and 2 destroyers. So I like big targets like battleships. They are easier for me to hit. So that is very, very nice. And let's see here, destroyers and cruiser, those are actually pretty fast. And let's see, we have Monty and Missouri with good AA. So we'll see what we can do. We're not actually going to go very far, very fast, because the farther we stay away from the battle is the better right now. So let's see here. I want my fighters out first. And then torpedo bombers. Then my dive bombers. Having 8 squadrons can also cause a problem when you're trying to reload all your aircraft, because as you probably know by now if you've ever played a carrier or watched one of my videos, you can only land or take off one squadron at a time. So if you have 8, you have to juggle them around a little bit. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied as well, so this is not the base ship. Keep that in mind. And I believe I can get my health up to almost 9,000? Maybe? We'll find out. I haven't put that buff on yet. Alright, so let's put my fighters right here for right now. Sometimes I like to put them around ships, but they're so easily to be shot down that it's not worth it right now. Alright, but they are pretty fast. You can see how fast those fighters are. Let's see here. So we're actually going to put them on this side because the carrier is coming from this side. Let's see if we can intercept these while my strike aircraft get into position. Boom. So you can take down enemy squadrons relatively easily. Let's go after this one because it hasn't struck yet. And then you just pick them off one by one. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so let's go back to our torpedo bombers. You know what? Let's go. So I'm not going to try and free drop on this gearing, so let's just let the game do it. Let's go after this Montana. I mean, that's the most heavily a strong ship right now, but what else? Hey, we got a bomb hit. You can see how many aircraft I'm losing. I lost an entire squadron right there. Actually, I lost all 3 squadrons. Wow, okay. So yeah, the AA plan was not the best plan. Alright, let's see. How are we doing with our fighters? Fighters are getting kind of low on ammo. That's the one drawback of this this carrier, is that there's just not a lot of ammo to go for these fighters. Alright, so let's get these back out. You know, I'm going to keep my fighters back here. There's no use in me throwing them away right now. And they're not doing any good over there. Alright, now look over, well, kind of there. So underneath my spare aircrafts, I have 8 fighters, 4 torpedo bombers, and 19 dive bombers. I'm going to activate the consumable and watch what happens. I now have 9 fighters, 10 torpedo bombers, and 17 dive bombers to use at my disposal. So it increases the amount of aircraft you have, but it does also still have that cooldown. Alright, so we're actually losing hardcore here. So we're going to put the fighters, we're going to return them so we can reload them. And let's see if we can get some damage on some of these ships. I'm hoping the Missouri goes down here soon, because she will knock down my planes and I need those. And then it looks like we're going to go after that Tsushima. Let's see if... Oh, look, half my squadron's already shot down. 2 bomb hits. Didn't actually do anything. That's nice. Maybe this will be better. It looks to be off to the side. But we got a double fire, so I'll take it. Alright, and we are the last ones alive. So, we need to skedaddle and see if we can get some damage here. I just lose so many aircraft, it's not even funny. That was a pretty good drop, though. Missouri was sunk. Though, sushi's right there, so that's a problem. I'm probably going to get set on fire because that's my luck. I'm going to take my fighters out right now because I know for a fact that that carrier has got its eyes on me. It's just waiting. I'm going to get my dive bombers out to hopefully set some fires on the Tsushima. Gotta wait for everyone to juggle around their squadrons, as you can tell. Alright, so fighters are going over here for right now. So might as well just do this. You go there. Alright, so fighter squadrons are shooting down those. Next. Alright, so let's see if we can manually drop these. We did, we got a fire, awesome. As you can see, the anti-aircraft defensive capabilities of the ship are pretty good. Alright, we'll pop this up now. Because our fighters are out of ammo. We're just going to do computer drops on this one. Let's get some more aircraft. Alright, so we're doing pretty good right now. We're just going to let the computer drop those torpedoes. Though I think I can keep squad 4 back. We're actually doing pretty good on health. I would like to get some of my fighters back up though. Wow. Tsushima still survived. Alright, well let's just computer drop that because I don't have time to focus on that right now. I'm trying to dodge aircraft. As you can see, the AA is still pretty powerful though. Alright, so Tsushima went down. That's good. We're still being attacked by the carrier though. And we still have a Yamato, Missouri, and that Asano. So we're gonna have our dive bombers go attack the Asano. Maybe get a fire set on it, because once we take out the carrier, then all we have left are the battleships. Alright. Let's go after the Yama. Let's wait till we have all of our squadrons out, that way we don't just waste them. We're dive bombing the Asano now. We got a bomb hit. Can we get a fire? No. Okay. I was set on fire. That's fine though. Alright, so Let's drop these torpedoes. Relatively good drop, I would say. Not enough to actually save me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this game, especially if I keep getting set on fire. Let's get some more aircraft. Where's... Oh, I'm about to lose Squadron Fighter 3. The ship is not bad. Actually, they all left the cap. Alright, interesting. I would really not like to be set on fire. I don't even know which one I should focus right now. I feel like it should be Missouri. But I also feel like it doesn't matter right now. Alright, so let's see if we can hide behind this island a bit. So we're gonna go after the Asano. See if we can at least get a fire on her. I'm wide open. Yep, we are. Alright, so let's just see what we can do. Hey, we got a fire on her. Awesome. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna have to go ram, because there's no other way I'm gonna win this. And I'm still not gonna win it, even if I do. But I'll at least get some damage. As you can see, I'm landing almost every single torpedo that I have. But it's not enough. And yes, I haven't been manually dropping my dive bombers, but it really doesn't matter because they get shot down if you sit around too long. Let's get our last remaining aircraft. Let's not be on fire. It doesn't look like the enemy Shinano has any aircraft left though. So if we could have taken advantage of that more, that would have been nice. Yeah, I'm not even going to be able to see my torpedoes hit, I don't think. Maybe. Alright, so I got one, but we're done. So this game is a loss, unfortunately. But we have quite a few torpedo hits and quite a bit of aircraft shot down, so let's see how we did. I'm still curious. 237,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 37 torpedo hits, 16 bomb hits, 68 aircraft shot down, 6 fires, 5 floodings, 2 defended caps, and 15 secondary hits for 5,000 base XP and 7,000 free XP. Yes, it is a defeat. Yes, my rewards would be a lot greater if I had actually won, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. So, fires and floodings did 63,000 damage. Secondary battery actually did a little bit of damage, that's funny. Torpedoes did 152,000 damage, and air bombs did almost 21,000 damage. Yeah, so I could have done a lot better. However, I'm satisfied with my play of that game, honestly, actually. I did good enough damage, it's just I didn't do enough altogether. So your strike packages are very powerful on paper. You have 6 attacking squadrons, depending on which setup you have. But you saw like half your squadrons are shot down before you even get to the target, and the rest are shot down on the way back. And so you only have like half of those armaments against the ship itself. And that's not a lot. And even if they do hit, I was landing multiple torpedo hits on Yamato. Yes, it has 50% torpedo reduction, so it's only half of what I could have been doing. But still, if it was any other ship, you would have been getting a lot more damage out of it. And then the dive bombers, yes, like I said, I wasn't manually dropping them. I probably could have done a lot better if I were, but in this case, I was trying to focus on my ship versus anything else, and I was hoping that they would at least be able to hit and start fires. Um, all in all, though, like I said, she's not a bad ship. We already have her in the game, however. She just is there to grind for EXP. So if you really liked Japanese carrier playstyle, which is mainly focused on offensive attacks with your your torpedo and dive bombers versus then defense, then sure, go for her. She is a little bit pricey, um, but if you really like Shinano gameplay, then have at it. Me personally, like I said, I'm not a carrier main. But she is a very beautiful ship, and you know what? Even if I'm not good in carriers, I still do enjoy them. I just don't play them as often. So I think I may practice with Asano a little bit more because I want to learn how to play her and use her effectively. But we'll see. But yeah, she's not a bad ship. She's already in the game, but there's no real negative drawbacks against her. However, if you have not played carriers before or only have like a tier 4 or so, definitely get some experience in carriers before you purchase her. Because if you find you don't like her, then there goes $100. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content. And tomorrow we will be going over part 1 of my future predictions for Naval Creed updates. As I remind you, and I will remind you again tomorrow, this is all my speculation. There's no evidence at all to support my predictions at all. It's basically what I see in other games and what I'm comparing in the game right now to see what may come in the future. So tomorrow I will be going over possible future tech tree lines such as cruisers, destroyers, and carriers. And then the day after tomorrow, we'll be going over Prism, Diamond, Event, and Rake Point ships, and then some other additional things afterwards, such as future navies and possible future event as well. Like I said, none of this is based on any information, it's just speculation and a little bit of hopefulness. But we'll see what happens. So that is the end of the video today. Thank you for watching and sticking around this long, and I will see you again tomorrow. So again, take care and have a good day.